Hello, my friends out there. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome and thank you for stopping by. My name is Elizabeth. I'm with Live, Craft, and Love, and today I am here to share with you the next part of my DT project tutorial for my Celebrate Autumn album. This one right here. First part was the construction of the base. The second part was the construction of this front part and page 1 and 2. And today we're going to hopefully finish it up with pages 3 and 4. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to need our base page. Now I did pre-cut all of the pieces just to save a little bit on time. You are going to need, let me pull this out. For this front part of page 3, we're going to be making a pocket, so you're going to need a piece that measures 7 by 3.5, and on the 3.5 inch side, you're going to score 1/2 inch, turn it, score another 1/2 inch, and turn it, score another 1/2 inch, giving us those 3 sides. And I did use my Martha Stewart paper punch that I've been using for the entire tutorial to give it that little gated edge right there. So we're going to be making a pocket right here on the bottom. On top of that, we're going to be creating a flap that is going to be coming down from the top end, just like so, kind of covering that pocket a little bit, but not all the way, just like so. So this piece measures 6 by 6.5, and on the 6.5 inch side, you go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. I did use my scallop, the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and I used the scalloped edge to punch my 2 edges with the scallop. So that's going to be like so. And on this flap, when it flips open, we're going to put a little trifold that measures 3 by 4. Well, actually, this one spot measures 3 by 4. The entire thing measures 9 by 3. And you're going to score, let me move this out of the way. You are going to score this piece at 3 inches and then again at 6, giving you this trifold. Now, once we put this on the flap, we are going to adhere it to the page or the flap like that, and we're going to use 2 magnets to give it that little closure up there. And the last thing you're going to need for this page is going to be 2 pieces that measure 3 and 3. I think it's 3 3/8. I put 3 3/3. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, 3 3/8 by 7.5. And a 3 3/8 side, you're going to go ahead and score at 1/2 inch, and the same thing goes for the other piece, score at 1/2 inch. Again, I use my corner chomper to, round my corners. That's not necessary, that's optional, but if you have one, that would make it look a little bit more on the decorative side. Okay, so those are all the pieces that you're going to need. Let me move my scoreboard out of the way. Now, actually, I shouldn't have moved my scoreboard. Before doing any of this, I do have to mat the base page. And as always, I'm going to check to see, which paper I used for this, just to make sure that I don't use the same one and that it can correspond to it. So, let's see. What paper should I use? I think I'm going to go with a solid color this time. Well, you know what? There it is. I was like, I know I have a solid red. So I think I'm going to use this solid red striped color simply because it gives it a good, relation to the little fox that's on this side. Yeah, so I'm going to use this page. So that means I need to cut my mat to 5 3/4 by 7 1/4. So let me bring my paper trimmer back. There we go. Let me cut this little strip off. And I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4. Right? Yeah, 5 3/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, move these off to the side. And I think what I have been doing, if I'm not mistaken, I have been distressing my edges with this ground espresso Tim Holtz ink. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now, as always, I am recording at, you will not believe it, I am recording at 2:30 in the morning. Yep, my daughter, my little Emma, decided to go to sleep at around, I don't know, 12:30, 12:45 this morning, past midnight. I don't know what was up with her. She was wired, laughing, giggling, playing, and we're too busy playing and stuff too. So I could not really start on anything until after, of course, she goes to bed. So yeah, that explains sometimes why I might do my tutorials and I might sound like I'm kind of in a hurry. I'm kind of tired, but we're gonna get it done no matter what. So then here we go. And right now she is fast asleep. I think everybody in the house is fast asleep. Well, maybe my son might be up. He's 14, so he might be up. Knowing that there's no school tomorrow, I think he actually might be up. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So the first thing that needs to go down are going to be, oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. I made a mistake. Don't do that. First thing that needs to go down are the flaps. And then you mat it. Oh my gosh. You see, I'm telling you, it is late. And, okay. So sorry about that. You're going to miter my corners. Good thing that art glitter glue didn't dry all the way. No problem. Okay, so then this and the flap here too. And then after that, we will put the mat, and then on top of the mat will be the pocket. Okay, so then, yeah. Let's go ahead and put these down. Line it up with okay, just like that. You are going to have a gap opening here because we are going to attach seam binding to close the entire thing. Now this goes right here, right in the middle, and these will close over it, just like so. So let's go ahead and adhere that. You need to make sure not to get it on that score line because then it won't correctly, the flaps on the side won't correctly close. Okay, so there, that goes over and these close over that. And then of course, now I can mat my paper. So here we go. Try number 2. There we go. All done. Now time to add our pocket. And let's go ahead and take off the tape backing. There we go. And don't forget to miter your corners. You can do this after, I'm sorry, you can do this before you take the tape backing off. That way it won't stick to your scissors like it's doing mine, but no big deal. Okay, cut down here, lighter that, cut down there, and lighter that. Okay, so now I pull down my bottom piece, pull in the other two, and I'm ready to attach my pocket. Now make sure you line it up at the bottom, and it does not overlap that score mark as always. There we go. Very, very nice. Now this is going to close down, and these two are going to close and overlap like that with the seam binding that closes it. And I'm going to get that as of right now. And I'm not going to wrap it all around. I'm just simply going to glue the seam binding right here and leave a good amount of it so that way I can go ahead and tie a pretty decent bow. So I think I'm going to do it like that. About that long, and time to cut it. And then here, cut it in half. Very good. And glue the seam binding down. Just like so. And now do it on the other side, making sure that they're lined up. So you do have to make sure that they're closed. That way you can know where exactly you need to put your glue. Because if not, you don't want your seam bindings all lopsided. So, oops, got stuck there. So I'm going to get it now and glue it down. And there you go. So now that they're glued down, now this would tie up. Just like that. Super cute. Okay, now after doing that, we're going to open up our flap and we're going to adhere this 3x4 little trifold. We're going to put glue on the entire back side of it once it's folded. And this is the middle section that we're adding glue to. And then we will go ahead and attach our magnets. Now, I'm just eyeballing it here, making sure that it's centered. Just like so. So this middle section is the one that had the glue. So I'm going to put magnet here. And let me get my magnet here. And take off the backing. I'm going to attach it right about there. Get some score tape. Just like so. And now I'm going to take off the backing on the next one. Get some more score tape. Flip it over, sticky side up. Attach the magnet, sticky side up on the score tape. There you go. And now we just flip it over and press down. And there we go. Now we're ready to move on. So let me go ahead and tie this back up. There we go. Now we're going to move on to the back of page 3. The back of page 3, I am going to have a waterfall. And the pieces that I'm trying to get the pieces that we're needing. They all got mixed up. There we are. There they are. You're going to need a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I corner punched the bottom. And you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that measure 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. And on these 4 3/4 side, you're going to score it 1/2 inch so you can make your little flap. And I went ahead and I rounded my corners as well. That's your waterfall. I am also going to need a piece that measures 6 5/8 by 7 1/2, and on the 6 5/8 side I'm going to score it 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to score it at 5/8 of an inch, giving it that 1/4 inch gusset. And then another piece that measures 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. On the 4 3/4 side you're going to score it 1/2 inch, and then again at 5/8 inch, again leaving a 1/8 inch gusset. And that's going to be our closure for this for this back piece of the back page, I'm sorry. So I'm going to again get a piece of designer paper. I'm going to pull out my scoreboard, and again I'm going to have to cut this piece of paper into the measurements of 5 3/4 by 7 1/4. And I'm going to select a different type of paper. Let's see, maybe it's one that I already cut up. I don't think I've used this pattern yet. That pattern, this one, that one. Nope. Nope, I haven't. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this side. And again, it's going to measure 5 3/4, just right there, by 7 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and just dress my edges. Now this one you can tell a little bit more because it's a lighter print than the other page that I used. I don't know about you guys, but I love the way distressed edges look. Like, maybe you all might want to leave a comment down below letting me know, you like distressed edges, you don't like distressed edges. I do. I think it gives it a finished look, and especially it gives it a rustic look for certain projects like this that you want that fall color scheme going on. So I don't know. I personally think that I like it. So now I'm going to go ahead and mat it, and this time, I am going to, now before matting it, I do need to adhere the side flaps. One here and one, oops, wrong one, and one here, just like so. So before doing that, let me go ahead and pull this out. And I need to make sure I line up my paper correctly, making sure that my 1/8 inch gusset is lined up at the edge of the page, guys. That's very, very important. So if you can see, my 1/8 inch gusset is lined up just like so. And now I can varnish that a bit. Just like that. And now on this side as well. I forgot to do it over here, but I'll do it on this one. I like mitering my corners. Now I'm going to do it from the 1/8 inch, the 5/8 inch mark, not from the half. Then it'll completely tear apart. Now this one, I'm going to have to center it on my page before I make sure it gets stuck down. And again, I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not measuring. And again, it has to, the 1/8 inch gusset has to line up at the edge of your page. Just like so. That looks like about half. And there we go. Okay, so now this is going to close like that. And now it's time to mat that page. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue and start gluing away. Okay, just like that. Now, a lot of you might be thinking or asking like how I can possibly or why I am, you know, staying up so late. And it's just work has been kind of hectic. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because I'm not. I love my job. It's just they've been requiring so much more from us. So much more. It feels like I'm doing more paperwork than I am teaching sometimes. Excuse me. But yeah, it's been very, very demanding at work. So I have no time to craft like after school or something. I always have something to do for school. It's crazy. Now, I'm just thinking about it. Before I glue this down, I am going to get a seam binding. Now, this doesn't really go with it. I'm going to get the brown. Yeah, the brown. I'm going to get my seam binding simply because I want the seam binding to be a closure for the what? No, you know what? No, I think I'm good. If anything, that's the reason why I have the page with the magnet. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm telling you, it is like 3 in the morning. I'm already getting very sleepy. But I'm going to do this. I have to do this. Okay, so going back to what I was doing. This is a base page, so I'm gluing that down. And now the waterfall is going to start getting attached as of right here. Okay, so you're going to take your tape backing out. Off and line it up to the top part of this base page, just like so. Make sure that it's straight, and now you're just going to keep attaching the next flap right underneath the other, just like so, making sure that it's nice and straight, and glue it down. 2 more. Fold this in, line it up, make sure it's lined up with the base page, and there we go, and 1 more. Making sure that my phone's still recording, or my camera's still recording, because lately that's been giving me issues also. There we go. Beautiful waterfall. Make sure it's nice and furnished so that way it won't be sticking up so much. And the next 2 pages, these pages will have magnets as well, and that's going to be my closure for the waterfall. So I need a magnet here and a magnet on the other flap. Now I'm going to attach them the same way that I did before with my score tape. Take off the backing that the magnet has. Adhere it right here. Now I don't want it too close to the edge because I am going to cover it with design paper, and if it's at the edge with the design paper it might give it a kind of a bulk. So I'm putting it a little bit more than 1/2 inch in. Okay, so then take the tape backing off of this one. And get some score tape, sticky side up, glue it there, and I'll make sure this is closed and this folds over. And voila, there is my closure. Now, if you're wondering why I put that 1/8 inch gusset, it's because I've tend to see that when you match your waterfall and then you add pictures and stuff, it tends to be a little bit on the chunky side, and this gives you a little bit of playroom for it. So, okay, so we have finished page 3, front side and back side, and we will get started with page 4. Okay, everyone, we're back with the beginning or the front part of page 4. The last page is going to be fairly simple, not very much interaction or whatnot. So you're going to need a piece that measures 6.5 by 7.5, and on the 1/2 inch side you're going to score. On the 6.5 inch side you're going to score it 1/2 inch. Fold that in and put in your score tape. Then you're also going to need a piece that measures 8.5 by 4.5, and you're going to score that at 8.5 by 4.25, and you're going to score that at 4.25. Now I went ahead and I corner punched it, and I'm going to be tying this with a seam binding. And the other page that you're going to need is going to measure 8.5 by 6.25, and again you're going to score at 4.25, and fold that in, and that's it. Those are all the pieces. Now, before you attach the other piece, I am going to have to attach this flap first, and of course I'm going to miter my edges just to give it a cleaner fold. Take off the tape backing. Come on, there we go. And line this up to the opening side. Making sure it's right at the edge of that page. You don't want it anywhere overlapping or not lapping. Okay, so once that's down, I'm going to varnish my piece right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach my design paper. Now, my design paper I am going to cut at 5 3/4 by 4.25. And I'm just going to look for another piece of design paper that I have not used. If I use this one, it's not going to work because it's writing and it has to be right side up. I haven't used these two yet. I haven't cut into these. The apples. I think I might go with the owls. Let's go ahead and trim that edge off. And now I want to make sure that this edge is the one that's 5 3/4. And then 7.25 going up and down. Close out. And go ahead and distress my edges. Now, I really hope y'all are enjoying this tutorial. Again, I'm fairly new at this. My designs, I'm hoping are, to y'all's liking. If you'd rather see a certain other type of page layout, or, you'd want me to try a different type of mini album, please just go ahead and leave that comment down below. Let me know that you want me to try and do an 8x8 mini album, you want me to do folio, or what I'm doing so far has been pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this here. These guys, I wanted to share with you. This little topper is available at Country Craft Creations. It is the best thing ever. I keep losing the little pins that go on here so it won't clog up. But with this thing, and you guys have to go visit and order fast because they get sold out quick. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? And then when you take it out and you put it on your table, you can't lose it because, it's right there. So yeah, sorry, I had my own little moment there when I received it in the mail yesterday. I was so excited. I actually ordered myself 2 just in case if I lost something. You know, knowing me, I would probably lose my head if it wasn't attached to my neck. Something my mom would always tell me, and I can understand why now. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach that there. And I am going to have to mat this one because this little booklet's going to get attached here. So again, this was 5 3/4 by 7 1/4, and I went ahead and I pre-cut that one just to save on time. I can't get over that sound. I love it. It's 3 in the morning and it relaxes me. So weird. Okay, so then that's that. Now I am going to close this with seam binding, and as you can see I put there seam binding just so I can remember. And this time I am going to use this beautiful, I don't know if I should use a red or if I should use this burnt orange. I think I'm going with the burnt orange. Poor red. And I think this is just enough for one more tie. Because if I do half of it, I don't think it would tie a very nice bow. So no, I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to use all of it. That's half. So I'm going to put it right here. So move it up there. I'm not going to tie it there. I'm going to tie it in the middle, but that's pretty much half of the seam binding. Move this down. Now I am using a lot of seam binding. Tammy did send me so many beautiful colors of seam binding. I wanted to make sure I utilized them to the best of my ability because it just gives the album just a, I don't know, a total different pizzazz, if you ask me. It makes it so much more delicate, so much more elegant. And being that it's a fall album, I don't know, the colors that they picked out for it just was really, really nice. So I didn't want to let it go to waste. So, okay, I'm going to eyeball this and I'm going to put this right in the middle, like so. You know, I didn't even realize I didn't take my darn scoreboard out. That's why I'm having trouble. Okay, so that's going to go right there. And then this is going to tie like so. I am going to have to trim it because it is a little long, but I'd rather be safe. You know, actually that looks kind of cute. I won't have to trim it too much. Let's see. Oops, something stuck on my scissors. There, and about the same length as this one. There. I think that looks pretty. Okay, so now with this one, we're going to attach it right here towards the bottom, but I'm not going to put glue all the way around. I'm going to create and make this into a pocket as well. So all I'm going to do is just add glue to the edges. Not here on the folded edge, because then that would just seal it off. Just like so, about a 1/4 inch worth of glue. Now the reason I'm not using score tape is because that stickiness of the tape will actually get, you know, whatever tag that you might stick in there, it will actually stick to the tag because of the score tape, from what I have experienced. So if you use your art glitter glue instead, it works out perfectly. So there you go. Here, I'm just going ahead and make sure it's nice and varnished, you know, and close that. Now I was going to put seam binding on this one, but I didn't want seam binding on both ends, so I'm going to go ahead and use a magnet to close this little flap out, and I'm just going to do the exact same way I've been doing it before. Take off the backing, adhere it down, not making sure that it's not all the way close to the edge. It's about maybe a little bit over 1/2 inch away, and getting my score tape, getting a decent size like so. Take the Backing off of that. Okay, sticky side up, sticky side up. And close and press. Just like that. So now, in here, you're going to notice that there's, once it's dry, I mean, I don't want to push it too much, but I'm trying to find if I can get a scrap piece. So this, you see, perfect spot for a tag. And I'll be creating the tags later on. I'll give you the dimensions for them as well. But yeah, perfect spot for a tuck spot for a tag. Okay, so this is pretty much it, guys. This is page, the front part of page 4. I'm so sorry. Now, I should have added a magnet here, but it's okay. It doesn't need to. It'll be fine. Maybe I can still attach a magnet here and here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Maybe that'll work. Just for some little added support for the page since it was open. I wasn't planning on making a magnet, putting a closure on this page, but I guess because of the seam binding, it's kind of sticking on there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put it here. I think it'll work. Come on. Almost done here. Okay, sticky side up. Come on. Ah, let it go. Okay, so now I'm going to close my entire page. Making sure my seam binding's out of the way. Push down. And yeah, that helped a little bit. That'll work. Okay, so now the back of page 4, and this is going to be our last and final page, y'all. Last and final page. So now I'm going to just do a double belly band with a little booklet. So before I adhere my belly band straps, I am going to again put in my mat, measuring at 5 3/4 by 7 1/4, and then I'll attach my bands and then create the booklet. So I'll turn this around. I love this paper. It is so pretty. I love fall, guys. Like I already said, my birthday's November 10th. I'm a fall baby. Love the colors. I just wish our trees here in South Texas would actually like change color, because they don't. All that happens is the leaves look like they died and they fall. I would love to see like red leaves, orange leaves. You know, we don't get that down here, unfortunately. We don't even get snow. Even though, fun fact is, last year it snowed twice. That was like amazing. The last time it had snowed down here was 2004, and I know that because that was the year my son was born. So yeah, it was awesome. So okay, so the mat that I'm gluing here measures 1 7/8 by 5 7/8. I didn't really want to leave a huge border around the band, so I'm splitting like 1/8 of an inch, so it's about 1/16 of inch border around. And I also distressed the edges on the band design paper as well. And there you go. Okay, that's pretty much the setup for the last part, the back of the page. The only thing I have left to do is construct the little booklet that's going to slip in there. Now, I did this the exact same way I've been doing the other ones in the book. This measures, I believe, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then you need 3 strips that measure 1 inch by 6 1/4, and you're going to score down the middle at 1/2 inch and get your, you know, your score tape at on either side. And I'm just going to go ahead and miter the corners here, making it easier to, you know, there won't be so much bulk in the little booklet. Okay, almost. There we go. Okay, so now take tape backing off. I'm just going to do it this way again. And get my paper. Again, the folded edge out. So I'm going to put, line up, stick that down. Hold this tight and firm. And there we go. Okay, so now again, tape backing off. There we go. Very simple. I'm such a messy crafter. Like, when I'm crafting, there is loads of stuff all over me. I try to pick up my trash, but it seems like the second I throw stuff away, I end up getting, you know, more things out. And I mean, you should see the side of my table right now, guys. I wouldn't show you because it's embarrassing. There's so many things around me. I don't know how everybody else is, but it kind of gets messy when you're crafting. Okay, one more. Now, the last one that we did, I made a closure, like a seam binding closure. This one I'm not, because the belly band is its closure. That's what's going to hold it together. And one more piece. So there's really no need for, you know, for me to have a tie or a magnet or seam binding closing this thing off, because, well, the belly band is going to do the job. There we go. And there is our, now I made it to the point where you can fit 4x6 photos, and you can decide to use it landscape or you can use it portrait. But in the belly band, it's going to get put in portrait style. So there you go, like that. Those are the constructions of page 4. Now let's go ahead and, you know, I'm not going to insert these just yet. I am going to, you know, mat them and whatnot. So I probably will end up making another video showing you the end product. But let me go ahead and just explain to you really quick what or how to insert the pages into here. All you simply do is you're going to remove the tape backing. I usually do it just on one edge. You're going to open up your page, and of course make sure that it's, you know, in this right orientation. You're going to slip it in. Now you do not want to line it up at the score line. I don't know if you can see it there. You need to leave a little bit of a gap, like maybe 1/8 of an inch gap or 1/16 of an inch gap from the score line to give it leeway to move. Because if you attach it way at the bottom to the point where it's touching the book, it's gonna get stuck. So you need to leave it, you know, give it a good gap right there, like something like that. And then you remove the tape backing from this end. Since this is already adhered down, it's already pretty much good to go on this side. All you have to do is just, you know, push down there. And you're going to repeat for the other, you know, 3 pages. And at the end, you will have your 4 pages constructed, ready and done, just like so. This one doesn't want to go in. There we go, just like that. And voila, that will be your album. Now I'm planning on creating something here. I'm probably going to do the same type of pockets I did here, back here, just so that way it can give it a little bit more leeway. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. All 4 pages have been constructed. The only thing left for us to do is to mat and to add embellishments. And if you can see, there's pretty good room for embellishments in the album. That's the pages already into their hinges, so you can see there that even considering the fact that we have so many little booklets and pages for pictures, there's still a good amount of room to embellish. So that's good. I like embellishing because of the fact that, I don't know, it's just so much fun, and you're able to express your artistic self when you get to embellish an album. But okay, there you have it, guys. Now we have officially finished with the tutorial as far as construction goes. Like I said, I will come back tomorrow or maybe even today with the final product. That way I finished it. That way I can show you how I embellished and decorated and whatnot. So please stay tuned. That video is coming up pretty soon. I am going to make sure I get this done this weekend. I don't want to leave it lingering anymore. But if you like the tutorial, if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Hit that notification bell so that way you can get notified of all of the videos that I do post. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love each and every one of you so much. And as always, live with passion, craft often, and love endlessly. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you later. Bye. Big hugs.